let's see if we can do a donut. Okay. Yeah. Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today we are reviewing my 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport and why I think it's better than my 2019 Ford Raptor. Let's go.
Motivation. That's right.
Welcome to Will Motivation. Holla.
On the beat.
Oh Lord, Jesse made another one.
All right, so today we are reviewing finally my brand new 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport model. Been loving this truck so far, but what I like to do is review my vehicle. So if you haven't seen my channel before, my name is Will Motivation and I love cars. So I just bought this 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I also have 3 Lamborghinis that I do a lot of content with on my channel. I have a 2012 Lamborghini Gallardo, a 2015 Lamborghini Huracan, and a 2013 Lamborghini Aventador. You know, this is my channel. I like to do a lot of car content, but I also like to give honest reviews of the vehicles I own, and this is going to be the honest review on this new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. So we're going to talk about the truck and my criteria for reviewing my vehicles. We're going to go over. So first of all, we're going to talk about the exterior styling and the features of the exterior. We're going to review it and rate it on the interior styling and features. We're going to talk about the comfort and luxury in the in the Gladiator, which, you know, a lot of people say this is more of an off-road vehicle, not a luxury vehicle, but it does have some luxury features on it. Also, we're going to talk about the drivability, the horsepower and torque, because that's pretty important to me, because I do like powerful vehicles. Of course, the fun factor, which is probably my #1 criteria for rating this vehicle. Ooh, it almost got broke. But yeah, fun factor, what I like most about it, what I dislike most about it, and my overall impressions and rating for this vehicle. So I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, this is my favorite truck that I have ever had. And I've had a lot of Jeeps, and I've had a lot of trucks. And you guys are saying, well, it's your favorite because you haven't had that many. Think again, man, I've had a lot. I've had the Ford Raptor. I got that brand new in 2019. I had 2 Toyota Tundras. I've had, I don't know, at least 5 Ram 1500s. I still have 1 Ram 1500 in the fleet right now. Shout out to Reg. But I've had a lot of trucks, and so far, this is my favorite one, and I'm going to talk about why. But let's first of all talk about the exterior features. From the factory, it comes with some different wheels and tires than what I have on there now. I upgraded to some 33 by 12 and a half inch ridge grapplers. So if you're wondering and you're not a tire person, 33 inches is the height or the diameter. 12.5 is the width. So you can see that's the width, and they stick out a little bit on the sides from the Jeep. It gives it sort of an aggressive stance. That, along with these running boards on the sides, or the side steps, whatever you want to call them, are the only mods that I have done to the exterior. So from the factory, I give the exterior a C-, mostly because of the tires and rims that they put on it from the factory. And this is the sport model, so it doesn't have the nicest, beefiest tires and rims, but I give it a low rating from the factory. But after you upgrade to some nicer, more aggressive tires and wheels, as you can see, the exterior goes from a C- to an A-. And I love, a lot of people don't like it. You either love it or hate it, but if you buy one and you're not sure about it, and you start customizing it to how you like it, then you can go from not liking it to loving it in a real short period of time. Because a lot of you guys saw my video where I did the upgrade from before and after on the wheels and tires, and a lot of you agree with me it looks 10 times better with the new wheels and tires. This is what it looks like before, and then we're gonna get an after. Oh, look at that stance. It's coming out from the side. It took care of me quick too. Now, one thing I do like in the front, you have your fog lights that come standard, your typical Jeep grille. There is upgrades that you can do to change all these to LEDs, and believe me, we are going to upgrade and mod the lights and put all LEDs. So on the exterior, like I said, I give it an A- now, you know, once you mod it a little bit. Now the truck bed, it's a little small. A lot of people said I wouldn't like it because it's maybe too small, but to be honest, this will do the trick for as much hauling as I want to do. I do use it. I've already used it to haul stuff around, take junk to the garbage can from some of my rental properties. But it would be better if it was a 6-foot, but you can't do a 6-foot bed in a Jeep because a lot of people take these off-roading. And the longer the bed, the more the chance that when you're going over some obstacle that you could hit or, you know, mess up the rear. So that's why they didn't want to put a huge bed in this. But for me, this does the trick, and it's very functional. I would not buy any other Jeep except for maybe like a SRT, like a performance Jeep. But like a Wrangler style Jeep, I've never really been into those. But when this thing came out, and shout out to Stradman, I saw his, I was like, that's kind of cool. And you know, how would I do mine? And so now you're seeing it. You got this, you know, I love that push. It's got a real nice feel to it for the filling up the gas. It's a real sleek look to it. You got the black accents. I probably will paint this to match the body. That's an option. I didn't get it on mine, but I do want to paint that to match the body. I have already ordered my upgraded fender flares that will match the body as well. It's gonna be sweet. So sorry the car or the truck is not clean on the outside, but as you can see, it's super muddy over here. And if I got it clean, as soon as I got over here, it's gonna get muddy anyway. And it's snowing. So yeah, if you're wondering where we're at a build site. I'm actually an investor. For those of you guys don't know too much about me, I invest in real estate. That allows me to afford like the Lamborghinis and the trucks and all that kind of fun stuff. And I'm investing in a new build in this neighborhood that I plan to build as a base model, then upgrade it and then flip it. So you guys stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you want to see that. But let's talk about the interior of this truck. All right, so let's start with the back seat. So as you can see, here's the interior door panels. I love these silver accents over the black. Now let's see, I'm 6'2". Let's see how well we fit in the back seat of the car. Pretty good actually. So 6'2" in the back of the Jeep Gladiator, and my knees do have space, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of rubbing. And that's my natural driving position at 6'2" in the front. Lots of space. Beautiful looking cockpit too, man. I like the cockpit. You know, not a whole lot of features in the back. I wish they did have a USB port back here. I think that's an option that this one does not have, but there are USB ports inside here, so you can run a wire back here. You got your cup holders. We don't have a center slide out, which would have been nice, but let me show you one of the features here in the back. So one of the things you can do is you can lift up the seats, and under those seats you got lots of storage. I don't know what this cover is for. I don't know what that is, but you got a lot of storage space back here. You got a place to put your bolts when you take off the roof. I got me a little mod right here, a little pedal commander type thing called Pedal Max. I'm gonna install that in a future video. But you got a little bit of storage under the seats, you know, very functional. Now let's talk about the front. So you got I got it on auto right there. You got your light controls, you got your fog lights, interior lights, your door control, not a whole lot of extra stuff, door locks and all that good stuff. But let's see how it looks on the inside. There it is. So let's turn on the accessory so you guys can see what the screen looks like. Here it is. All right, so what I like best about the interior features are the heated steering wheel, heated seats. You can turn off your automatic start stop. You've got media to plug in the new USB and the old style USB auxiliary port. Your window switches here. The reason why they're not in the doors is because you might take the doors off, you know, in the summertime and kick it, you know what I'm saying? So got all your other controls. I really like the layout of the interior. To me, it's really good. You got your beautiful Jeep steering wheel, and gauge cluster looks pretty good as well. So I like it, man. I like the interior. Now, stereo system, it leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to hear it. It's not bad. Stereo system's not bad. But if you take all of the top off and take all of the doors off, I think you're going to need a stereo system that thumps. So that is a planned mod for this vehicle, is to have a nice bumping stereo system in it, which we'll add in a future video. So make sure you subscribe to check out those mods. So one thing you might ask is, you know, you've heard what I like best about the interior features, but what's missing? And for me, I would say the only thing missing, you could say a sunroof, but you know, this whole entire top of the vehicle comes off. So how you can't really beat that. It's like better than a convertible. So, you know, but while you're driving, you don't have any power sunroof or anything like that, but it's a Jeep, man. What really do you want? Like this has everything you need to go off-roading, everything you need to run around in the weather. If it's raining real hard, if it's snowing real hard, this is the vehicle you want to be in. Cold start in the Jeep. Not very impressive. The exhaust note, definitely would appreciate a better exhaust. All right, so let's see if this thing can do a burnout. And because a big thing for me, if I have a truck, I want it to have a whole lot of torque. Now I do have heavier wheels and tires on this thing, but let's see what happens, because this is part of the fun factor of driving the vehicle. Every now and then you want to put the pedal to the metal and do a little burnout or something. So let's see what happens. So that didn't go all that great. I need some more power. Magnuson, holla at me. Okay, so if I had the factory wheels and tires on the car, I would have did a real nice burnout. But I got these heavy 12.5 inch, you know, Ridge Grappler tires. Yeah, we're not doing a big burnout today. But you know, that goes to speak to the fun factor. Very fun car to drive, and that's one of the reasons why I like it more than my Raptor that I had. Raptor was fun to drive, man, but it's just super uncomfortable and harsh. It used to beat me up driving that thing. Now, if you're wondering why I said Magnuson holler at me, because Magnuson makes superchargers, and actually the supercharger that I have on my Lamborghini Huracan, shout out to VF Engineering, they're the ones that put the kit together, but they use a Magnuson supercharger, the hardware, and Magnuson just made a supercharger for the 2019 Gladiator. There we go. A little bit. A little bit. Got to break in the engine. Maybe it'll get a little faster over time. But yeah, Magnuson, holler at me, man. I need a supercharger ASAP. I'm going to show you guys the acceleration, turning traction control off, and I'm going to punch it. Here we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, let's talk about horsepower and torque. Does this thing have enough horsepower, and does it have enough torque? that little example of me trying to do a burnout, especially with Jeep knowing that people are going to upgrade the wheels and tires to heavier mud tires, heavier wheels, you need to have a lot of torque in this machine, man. And I feel like with the stock rims and tires, it has enough torque and enough horsepower. But when you upgrade your rims and tires, man, to make the Jeep look good, you also still want it to perform good. And you need to have enough torque to turn those wheels and enough horsepower once you're going to pass people on the freeway and things like that. So to be honest, I think this thing needs at least another 60 foot-pounds of torque and at least another 60 horsepower. And from the factory, all right, let's try this again, come on. More torque, man, needs more torque. I should have did a smoky burnout just now. And I do have traction control off, no smoky burnout, and it's wet out here, so we should have been blazing through the tires right now. Oh well, I guess it'll be a while before I need new tires. I guess that's a good thing. But I really believe this is a little bit underpowered considering the mods that people are going to do in this truck. And if you saw recently, they just announced a new Jeep Mojave Gladiator, which is like the desert rated, like racing version of the Gladiator. It looks good, but what I was waiting for was for them to say it has 50 more horsepower, 50 more torque, or even more than that. This is Dodge Chrysler Jeep, man. You guys are known for making powerful vehicles with all the Hellcats and, you know, Challengers and Chargers that are super powerful. I mean, why not have the option to have an overpowered Jeep? Because that thing would be stupid fun. It has an 8-speed transmission in it. It has a V6 Pentastar 3.6 liter engine in it. It's good, like, it's good. It's not bad, you know what I'm saying? But it needs more. It needs more for the fun factor. And I'm a fun factor type of guy. But it's good, it's not bad. I give it a C plus, B minus, right there on that edge when it comes to power. But I would like to have more power, more torque, and I think all it would need would be 50 to 100 more foot-pounds and 50 to 100 more horsepower. So that's my take on that. Now, when it comes to drivability, I'm going to give the 2020 Jeep Gladiator very high marks because it's very comfortable over bumps, very comfortable to drive. The driving position is good. Now, there's not a whole lot of adjustability on the seats in the sport model that I have, but it's very, very comfortable, especially with the stock rims and tires that come on this Jeep. Very, very drivable. Now let's see if we can do a donut. Okay. Yeah, I like this thing. As we kind of pull off from this light, let's discuss drivability, because a lot of you guys are wondering, well, how does this Jeep drive, and why do you say you like the Jeep better than the Ford Raptor? So as a lot of you guys might have known, I did have a Ford Raptor. I had a brand new one in 2019. I got it for Christmas. I did a video on it. And this Jeep Gladiator, I think, is a better truck for me than that Ford Raptor. And the reason why is because the fun factor, man. Driving this car is super fun. It's a big thing that I didn't like about the Raptor was it was super harsh. I don't know if it was the seats. I don't know if it was the suspension. I don't know if it was the tires and the wheels, or all of those things combined. But that thing beat me up into submission, and I basically sold that Raptor because man, it was just too harsh of a ride for me. And for the money that I paid for it, it just felt like a super heavy truck that was underpowered. It had a turbo V6 in it. Sounded like crap to me. Sure, now it was the best looking truck I think that was out there, but I even like the way this truck looks better, man. It's unique. It's kind of boxy. It's got like a military look to it. I happen to like it. All right, so Now, a lot of you probably would disagree with me on that and think the Raptor, of course, looks better. And that's arguable because one day I might say the Raptor looks better. But for me, this is way more fun to drive. And it is way lighter than the Raptor. And it feels like it. So when you're driving this thing, it's almost tossable. Like if this thing had 100 more foot-pounds of torque and 100 more horsepower, this thing would be probably more fun to drive than all three of my Lamborghinis. But back to talking about drivability. Is this thing drivable? As you can see, man, it has, right now I'm in 2-wheel drive, but it also has 4-wheel drive. It's snowing out here. I mean, this thing was made for off-road. I have the mud tires on it. There goes a Raptor as we just talked about it. Look, he's got the 8-cylinder Raptor, not the V6 that I had. But anyway, man, this car is very, very, very drivable. One thing I wish that it did have would be a larger gas tank, because with these heavier wheels and tires that I have, I'm eating up gas crazy, and I'm lucky if I get a little over 300 miles per tank. But very comfortable to drive, very predictable. Like I said, with the stock trim, with the stock wheels and tires on it, it's super, super comfortable. And I actually love the way it rode with the stock wheels and tires, but I didn't quite like the look, man. They call those stock wheels and tires pizza cutters because they're so thin, man. They don't look right, and they make the truck look super boxed out. But with the wheels and tires that I have on the car, as you can see, it makes the truck look just right. Now, that's all I can say, man. Drivability, I give this car, or this truck, an A+. I love driving it. Since the day that I bought this, I have been driving this vehicle every single day, and I've had it for almost 2 months, or a little over a month, and I am loving this truck, man. This is I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite truck of all time out of all of the trucks I've ever owned. So, all things considered, what are my overall thoughts about the Jeep Gladiator? I love this truck. I am very, very glad that I bought one. The very first day that I drove it, I kind of didn't like it. Actually, I test drove one at a dealership in Columbus. Then when I decided to buy one, I I actually drove it home. Shout out to Tori, she went with me to go pick it up. We drove this thing back, and I was a little suspect about my first couple of drives in the Jeep. You know, it wasn't very aerodynamic. I wasn't used to how the power delivery was. But after those first 2 drives, the next day I fell in love with this Jeep, because you can just hop in this thing, take off, and enjoy the ride. And all of the mods that you can do on this thing, super fun, man, super fun. So overall, I give this Jeep an A- on my scale of the things that I like, you know, in a vehicle. So shout out to Jeep, man, excellent job. And the fact that this Jeep vehicle was made in Ohio. Buying this truck, I'm supporting the Ohio economy, and I'm from Ohio, so there you go. But anyway, this is Will Motivation. I hope you enjoyed this review. So if you like car reviews and you want to see me do more car reviews and things like this, not only with my vehicles but with other, you know, vehicles that I have access to, make sure to hit the thumbs up so that I know that you guys like this kind of thing. And if you want to see me mod this Jeep and do more videos with this Jeep, or, you know, with the Lamborghinis and the other cars that I have in my little fleet, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll have some fun. This is your boy Will Motivation signing out. Appreciate you guys watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.